Basically, when it comes to the shift programming language, they actually data types, and there are actually five types of data types are available. The first type are only known as strings. Second type in fourth, I mean third type float, fourth type jubel, and the fifth type is bool, boolean. That's the thing. So I'll explain about the first type. Strings are nothing but piece of text, whatever it may be. Shashank is a text, car is a text, house is a text, Nayan is a text, Amua is a text, Abi is a text. All these words are text, right? So all the text have been represented in the form with the in the form of strings. So that's the thing. And when it comes to the int, any numbers, 32, 54, minus 32. Here I'm gonna give what are the exact numbers. Even negative numbers, whatever it may be, minus one, and then a minus 100, and then let's even consider the 0. So all this will comes under the string category. I mean int category. Okay, when it comes to the float, float is nothing but decimal numbers. Decimal numbers in the sense this point is there. No, this point indicates the decimal point, and also it's known as floating point representation value. So this point is nothing but a decimal thing. So float is actually related to the decimal. And then what's the exact meaning of jubel? So jubel in the sense larger decimal numbers. And then the final thing which is known as boolean, bool. So whether it is true or it may be false, whatever it may be. So this true or false comes under the category of bool. Okay. So now let's perform some other coding stuff, and let's import the, okay, let's import foundation. Let's start the coding stuff here. So basically now let's take a variable which is known as a, and then I'm going to assign this variable as, okay, the first letter must be the capital, right? String, and then let's consider it as, okay, whatever it may be, okay, whatever it may be, yeah. And then if you want to print you can simply print it. Now let's run it. Actually you'll get this value. So this is nothing but string. We need to wait for some time for the purpose of output. So variable a, and then this a is belongs to and string type, and these are the values which have been located inside the string. So that's the thing. So if you want to change it into int, you can change it, or else you can't change it. I'll show you. So let's consider a is equals to let's take a value which is known as 55, and if you run it, what exactly happens? Okay, before running, let's print. Okay, let's actually wait. Yeah, now what exactly happens? It cannot change because the a is belongs to a string family, and we are assigning a 55 to a. So 55 is belongs to an int family. So that what exactly happens? It will simply say that cannot assign value of type int to the type string. So that's the thing. And if you had given any int here, let's give I and d. So that's it. And if you return this, what exactly happens? It will not accept, because it's going to accept only the integers, right? So I'm going to give an integer 2, and then I'm going to give I'm going to say a string which is known as whatever it may be. Yeah. Okay. Now what exactly happens? It will simply show the same thing. Cannot assign the value type of string to the type of int. That's the thing you need to remember. Not only this, you can also do this in this particular format. You can able to perform this in this particular format. If you are given any value which is known as whatever it may be, and then if you are run it, what exactly happens? It will show you an error, because here we had been mentioned it is belongs to an int, and you are mentioning a string, so it will not accept. So that's the thing you need to remember. And then let's simply do all those things here. Int in the sense, let's take so this is a number, okay, and then again let's give where b as an, let's take a string here, string, and then let's give it as an some strings. Let's give some strings here, and then let's again take where c here. Now let's give a floating point representation value. So basically floating point representation values, or else the other value which is known as in jubel, all those things comes under the category of decimal. So that's the thing we need to remember. So now let's actually give a floating and the decimal thing. So the first letter must and should be the capital. Float is equals to, and then let's give the values which. So yeah, let's simply take as D, and then let's give this Jubel is equals to, let's simply give whatever it may be, but you need to remember one thing: you need to give the value which are higher than the float, because the Jubel is also belongs to a decimal number, and the float is also belongs to a decimal point number. So the only one difference between the both things is Jubel is somewhat higher than the float, whatever it may be. You can give 0.3, or else you can give 0.4, or else you can also give 0.10, whatever it may be, which are the values greater than the but those values must and should belongs to a decimal point, and in the sense, I mean this point. So you can assign all those values, but you can't assign 0.2 and 0.1, because 0.2 is almost similar to the float, and 0.1 is less than the float. So you should not assign that, because this Jubel is belongs to a higher decimal, I mean a larger decimal family. So that's the thing. And then let's also give where okay, let's also give a where, and then let's give a bool. Okay, so let's consider A B C D E. Yeah, E dot the first letter must be capital, so that's it. And then let's give is equals to whatever it may be, true or false, whatever it may be. This is how these are the 5 types of data types which are available in the Shift language, and also this plays really very crucial role. That's a thing about the data types. That's it.